We brought 3 kids on a 7-day adventure to Labuan Bajo, snorkeling with turtles, sunrise hikes, waterfall trekking, body surfing in the middle of the sea. It was wild. It wasn't perfect. A volcano erupted 2 days before we were supposed to leave, and we did quite a bit of waiting between transitions, but I think for our first time to Labuan Bajo, we did alright. Hi, I'm Darren, a dad of 3 kids, and in this video, I'm going to share my complete 7 days, 6 nights itinerary to Labuan Bajo, including what we love, what I wish we would change, and honest tips if you're thinking of visiting this paradise that is just a 4-hour flight from Singapore. We landed at Komodo Airport, a small open-air terminal. After about an hour of waiting for our luggage, we found a driver and headed out. A short 10-minute car ride brought us to Sudamala Resort in Labuan Bajo town. This was our first stop before heading out to sea. This is how the room looked. It's clean, spacious and functional. After settling in, we headed to the Labuan Bajo fish market for dinner. The place was buzzing. Stalls were selling mantis shrimps, crabs, lobsters. Definitely a feast for the eyes. But to be honest, the food didn't exactly wow us, and it started drizzling. Not the best combo as there was limited shelter. Worth checking out once, but probably not a repeat for us. We woke up the next morning to this view, and here is how the resort looks in the morning. Nice, right? This is the breakfast buffet. The spread was decent. There was the usual mix of local and western dishes. The kids were a little disappointed that they could not use the pool. Anyway, after breakfast, we packed up, checked out and made our way to the ferry terminal, and this, my friends, was where the real adventure began. Quick tip, I used my Eskimo eSIM throughout the trip. The coverage was great around town and between islands, though there were a few dead zones out at sea, which is to be expected. Still, I managed to stay connected, check maps and upload stories. If you want to try it out, use the code 1G free for 1 GB of free global data. The link is in the description down below. We boarded a speedboat that brought us to our Liveaboard boat, the Yang, which was booked through Sophie. This was going to be our home for the next 3 days and 2 nights. Once on board, we had a quick safety briefing and were shown to our rooms. We had 2 rooms. This is mine, not too far off the picture, right? And this is a video of my wife's room, which was a little bit larger. For those of you keen to know more about the rooms that we booked, as I was traveling with 3 kids, hence I booked 2 rooms. The main deck deluxe cabin, which I paid $989.79, and the main deck cabin with sea view and bathtub. That room was much bigger, and that's why it cost me $1,204.96. The activities on board the boat were well paced. There was always something to do, and yet ample time to just chill and enjoy the scenery. We snorkeled at multiple locations, the Pink Beach, Manta Point, and some other spots that I can't remember offhand. My kids were blown away by what they saw. Parrotfish lah, clownfish, even reef sharks. And my son Trevor even swam alongside a sea turtle. He was just so excited, and I was so glad that I caught it on camera. One early morning, we hiked up Padar Island to catch the sunrise. The kids, well, they grumbled the whole way up. It was really a steep climb, but once we reached the top, the view was spectacular, and along the way, we even saw wild deer just grazing by the path. We also stopped at Komodo Island, where we saw the famous Komodo dragons up close. Definitely one of those bucket list experiences. How about the food on the boat? Edible or not? Honestly, fantastic! Lots of fresh vegetables, grilled meat, fruit juices, and even snacks between meals. The crew made sure we were always well fed. One of the most memorable moments was watching my kids jump off the boat into an inflatable pool. They were splashing, jumping. It was pure joy. We also had paddle boards, did a bit of body surfing, and even had locals paddle up in kayaks selling souvenirs and live seafood. It was like something out of National Geographic. By the way, if you want to follow this same route that I took, I'm currently working on a downloadable full itinerary that includes all the locations, the boat booking information, taxi drive contacts and travel tips. I'll put it all in the description down below once it's all done. 3 days on board the boat is just enough for me and the family to enjoy the whole experience. After the boat ride, we then proceeded to take a speedboat to our next destination, Sudamala Resort over at Flores Island. And I tell you guys, my first impression, I was mind blown. The water was so clear. In fact, the moment we arrived, we could spot clownfish, starfish right from the pier, and my kids were just so excited to jump into the water. This is how the room looked, and this is the showering area. There is also a very nice pool for the kids to play in, but my kids, they were just more interested in the beach. Anyway, my son wanted to do a vlog to share the sea creatures that you can find off the jetty, so enjoy!
Hey guys, now is night time and we're going to the jetty to see the fishes. Okay, so let's go. Come on guys, here we are at the jetty. We're going to find the lionfish right here. And right now, I'm probably some stingrays and cool fishes. Guys, look over there. A lionfish. A baby one, I think. I think it's kind of small. There is a giant starfish right there. Can you see it? It's huge. Those black sea urchins. I think there are otters here because otters eat sea urchins. Look, another mystery. Why are the fish coming here in schools? I wonder why. I think I found another lionfish right under there. It's a beauty.
I just want to share something. The sun in Labuan Bajo is legit crazy. I got so badly burned that I've literally turned a few shades darker. Most probably I over snorkeled or something, I'm not too sure. But anyway, my lips, they swell out from the heat and the salt water. So if you want to have a more enjoyable experience, please pack reef safe sunscreen, UV jackets unless you want to be chao da like me, and most important, your lip balm. I brought everything except lip balm and I paid the price painfully. For the last leg of our holiday, we stayed in the Katamaran. You know, after staying in boats, resorts, and then seeing such a beautiful hotel, wow, the feeling really different. This is the view from the lobby and this is us checking into our rooms. The view was fantastic and the room was nice and cozy. There was a kids club where you can drop your kids off while you have some me time by the pool bar which overlooked the beach. Breakfast at the Katamaran was fantastic. The buffet spread was really good. There was a great selection of pastries, Indonesian cuisine, salads and fruits. Every morning they also offered sunrise hikes and yoga by the pier. We woke up early the next day to try the yoga while catching the sunrise. It was very peaceful and refreshing. Overall, we stayed 2 days in the Katamaran and on the second day, besides our morning yoga, we actually rented a car and headed to Kuncha Plias waterfall, which was a 1.5 hour car ride. I know I'm butchering the name, sorry, but anyway, be warned, the road is super windy. It was like traveling to Genting Highland and my youngest, wow, she got car sick midway and could not stop crying. Honestly, I don't really blame her as I was also getting a little bit car sick myself. My advice is that if you're heading to the waterfall, to bring some ointment. This is the start of the hike and it's not too bad. Initially, I thought that my kids would struggle, but okay, they enjoyed it. The guides were very patient and they would show us local vegetables and crops that are grown by the villagers along the way. So it was quite educational as well. Here's my daughter Tanya smelling some vanilla beans. Anyway, there are 3 waterfalls and while most of the guides would tell you that the 3rd waterfall is the nicest, our personal favorite was actually the 1st waterfall. It was beautiful and a lot easier to reach. Over there, you can find a cliff jump spot which my family happily tried while I took on the very important job of filming. After the waterfall, we visited a traditional village nearby, a bit touristy, but the locals, they were warm and welcoming. We got to try on their traditional outfits and take some fun family photos. The kids also had the chance to see how the traditional homes are built, which was quite eye-opening. On our last day before flying home, we visited a friend who was staying at the Ayana Resort. Ayana is more established and definitely has a more resort-like polished feel. It was almost like Rasa Sentosa in Singapore. It was visibly more crowded with tourists and the pool area had a vibrant energy that I really liked. Katamaran, which was the hotel that we were staying, is a newer resort. During our stay, I just felt Katamaran a little bit quieter with fewer guests, which can be a plus if you are looking for privacy. The pool at the Katamaran, however, is shaded most of the days, so the water was extremely cold. My kids, they barely swam. So here's my quick verdict. If you have a bigger budget and want the full resort experience, just go for Ayana. If you prefer a quieter, newer stay and you don't mind a colder pool, Katamaran is a good option. So that wraps up our 7 days, 6 nights Labuan Bajo family itinerary, from island hopping, Komodo dragons, pink beaches, waterfalls, to just enjoying quality time as a family. I'll also be releasing a full downloadable itinerary for this trip soon. It will be linked in the description down below once it's ready. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment to share your thoughts or questions, and subscribe to the channel for more family travel and finance content.